Now, people have been foretelling the coming of the Christ for centuries, and nothing appears to have happened. But in 1945, Maitreja said if humanity of its own free will take the necessary step to put its house in order, they would lead humanity, if we accept it, into this new age. Maitreja came into the world on July 19th, 1977. Not from the sky as Christian groups imagine he will come, but from no nearer the sky than the high Himalaya. Christians are awaiting, either urgently or far off, the return of the Christ, as they see him, usually as Jesus Christ. The Muslims await him as the great Imam Mahdi, and some believe he is in the world, some think he's coming very soon. Hindus await him as Krishna returned, some believe he is even here, or Kalki avatar. Jews await him as the Messiah. Buddhists await him under his name, Maitreja. 2,600 years ago, the Buddha said that at this time would come into the world a great teacher, a Buddha like himself, by name Maitreja, who from his extraordinary spiritual standing would galvanize and inspire humanity into the creation of a brilliant golden civilization based, as he put it, on righteousness and truth. He will be seen in America, first of all, on television, where he can speak to millions of people. But he will not say who he is. He will not call himself Maitreja. He doesn't want followers. He's not a guru who wants as many disciples as possible. Not at all. He comes as a teacher. We have to not just recognize Maitreja, but want for the world what he wants for the world. He wants for the world peace. Above all, peace. There has to be peace, because if there is no peace, then there'll be no future. We will destroy ourselves. A small war will become a big war. That big war would be nuclear and would destroy all life on planet Earth. Maitreja says the essentials of life are enough food, enough of the right kind of food, shelter, enough proper shelter, proper health care, and correct education. These four things are absolutely divine rights to humanity. And yet, if you look around the world, there is not one country in the world where you can have all of these unless you have money. So the answer, the key to the whole problems before humanity is seen in Maitreja's eyes as sharing. Is humanity ready for sharing? Maitreja says, well, we have really no alternative. Every other method has been tried and has failed miserably, brought us war after war, crisis after crisis, poverty and humiliation and degradation throughout the world. 2/3 of the world's population, 2/3, live in the developing world. And they live short, stunted lives, and their children with them. And so he will talk simply like us, like you have heard me speak tonight, saying more or less the same things, I suppose. The difference being that when he says it, his energy, which is the energy of the Christ principle, goes with it. Every word, it penetrates the heart. You're listening to me with your mind, I hope with your heart, but certainly with your mind. But when Maitreja speaks, you hear it in your heart, not this heart beating at the left side of the chest, but at this heart, which is the seat of the soul in the physical body. On the day of declaration, we will see by now a familiar figure. Maitreja will come into telepathic rapport with the whole of humanity, and each of us will hear his words inwardly, silently, in our own language. This is an experience which will transform humanity. People will tell it to their children and their children and their children, and down through the ages. It will be the most extraordinary experience for humanity.